What's up guys, welcome to Blake's Garage. Today we're going to be doing one of the most necessary upgrades to any E36 with the US plastic garbage headlights. We're going to swap out to these Bosch OE Euro headlights with a glass lens. You can see it has a ellipsode, or however you say that, I don't know if I'm butchering that name, but this little projector beam right here. And the lens is all glass, looks very nice. It's all blacked out inside the housing. Has that, also has a little driving light situation, so you'll see here on the back it has a couple different areas. This also hooks up with with this little plug, right? So this twists off. I'll kind of be showing this. So this Bosch lamp is much better quality. It is a lot heavier. It also takes up a lot more space in the rear here that you'll notice. And also I have the European side markers. The European side markers, they have, well, it comes with this, which is only a 2-pin design, you'll notice, for the corner markers. That's because they just use these for the blinkers, right? In US, I think we use these as running lights, and we use them as blinkers, so it's got 3 wires on it. Change that up, so I'll wire this little piece right here into the US corners, because I want my clear corners still. I like the look of that a little bit better. When you go ahead and remove these lights, if you don't know how, there's a little clip right here, and then the corner light will actually slide forward out of there. Boom. So you just hit that little clip thing and it slides forward. It's a 2-piece design. Okay, now that I've gone over all that stuff, let's jump into the car. We'll start splicing wires and removing the old lights. The first little demonstration, I wanted to show all the lights on. So this is normal driving mode with the fog lights on. There's a little push button and kind of what you get. So you can see the corner marker is lit. This is a US car, like I said. You have the one on the outermost side, which is your low beam, and I got the fog light on just for fun. We're not doing anything with the fog light, but I kind of wanted to show you that position. Now I'll just flip the high beam on real quick. That's the high. Just so you guys know, the inside ones are the high beams and these are the low beams. So I'll go ahead and turn this stuff off. Oh, also, I want to hit the blinker real quick so you can see what that looks like. It goes from a dimmer look to the actual blinker. So what'll happen is when I wire up the city light will actually be like right around here, and then the normal light on the corner will not even be lit. Reach in there, find the tab, try not to break it in the process. It should just slide forward with ease. You should not have to force this. If you're forcing it, chances are it's gonna break, and you don't want it to break, because then you'll have to be buying a new one. Oh god, and I pretty much almost broke mine right there. So let me get a screwdriver, because that thing is, wow, that's garbage. I got a screwdriver to press out that last little bit, and that worked, but my lens almost started separating here, so we'll kind of see how much longer this particular side marker lasts. This is the Euro one. See how this has 2 wires in the back here? Now look at this guy. Here's the US piece. Notice 3 wires in the back here. So we will remove one of these and splice in and use that for the running light. And basically we can like change out this harness situation. So I think what I'll be able to do here real quick is, you can see this little plastic piece, this little connector, right? We are gonna adapt that. So you got 2 separate situations. You have this, which is the actual bulb assembly, right? So you can take out this and you can put that into the US. Nope, not an issue. Okay, so that can click in there, right? Well, now we have this little connector here on the end, right, for the plug. So I'm gonna pull that off without trying to break it. This has been cut off with the factory Euro harness right here. But what we should be able to do is de-pin this and then pin it with the US spec wires, which are right here. So we'll actually do the same on this as well. So I'll pull this off. And then on the 3rd wire on this, we're gonna have to make a jumper to go over to the light. And by jumper, I mean basically a piece of wire that's gonna tap in. So I'm actually gonna take this little piece apart. If you look closely, there are clips like here on the side, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you'll notice where there's a hinge piece as well. So it hinges here. So this thing actually will flap back. So we're gonna make that happen by just gently lifting up here. Like I said, this is a really old little harness thing here, so we're trying not to break anything in the process. But you can see these tabs here These have kind of gotten pulled off. This middle one has kind of gotten pulled off, and those. So now that is pulled open. I do see, oh, that's just a little piece of this wiring stuff. So, as far as this connector goes, you see where the notch is right here. If we're looking at the front of the notch, blue is on the right, brown is on the left. I think brown is negative and the blue is positive, so we will kind of pull these out. You're going to notice that this sort of depends here. See that? Boom. I got a brown and a blue, and then I have a purple on here. So I'm guessing I'll be able to use the brown and blue, and then the purple is probably going to be my running light, but let me check with that real quick on the wiring diagram. So as far as the factory US connector here goes, you can see it kind of has this little connector piece here. I was able to pop out this piece, pop out that, boom, and then we can depin the wires. See how they start to come out? I find that this is the best way to deal with this instead of like just completely annihilating it. So if we kind of look at this, you kind of see, I'm going to look at it like this way so you guys can kind of keep an eye on it. Brown was right here at the top. Right here was the purple and gray, and then this was the green and blue striped wire as well. So we'll just kind of pull those out. See the little connector just pops right out of there. This one pops out and this one pops out. I noticed with this, with the Euro connector, is, well, if you depin these, basically they go right onto the piece. So you could use the little connector thing like this, right? We could still use this. However, it kind of requires a 90-degree bend here, boom. Whereas this one does not. So you could either, well, you could either keep the OE US BMW style one, and we could just take one pin out and use it, or you could just kind of do it like this, stab them in, and honestly, it's a very good connection. So I think I'm cool with that, because these things feel super solid. If you wanted, I guess I could put this in between. I actually feel like that'll actually make it, well, we can do that. I'll show you. Let's do that, just because. So this could click on, boom, and then these two could go on here. Sliding in and sliding in. It's similar, but then I can still use that piece if I want to, but I don't know. I think it's just a little bit of extra goodness to keep it nice. Let's go ahead and try out that bulb. I still haven't looked up the wiring diagram, but I think that's gonna be it. Perfect. So when I need the blinker, there it is now, and I don't have a running light like I do on. Alright, so something that I noticed here is in the US, you do need to have a yellow turn signal. So if I have that corner clear with this clear light, it's not going to be a yellow turn signal. So I actually do need to either do one of two things. I need to use this plug on the correct connections right here, which is totally fine and probably the easiest thing to do, and just kind of ditch this plug here, but then hook up that other light. Or we can run this clear bulb with the Euro side marker, which I don't think I want to, because to me I like the color of the clear ones on the side better. So I'm actually repinning my connector, the brown in the top and the blue on the right hand side. And all you got to do is just click it like that, and now I'll be able to use my little yellow turn signal situation, because this will just go right back in like normal, however it goes, like this, and then that one is going to be for my city lamp. So we'll figure that one out in a minute. Now let's move on. As far as the light goes, we have kind of two things happening here. We got this one on the inside, which is like a little spacer, which basically adjusts the light. And then we have the outer screw, which is stuck into that spacer. So that's an 8mm. So you want to hold the back or put a wrench on the back side of the one on the back, the spacer, and you can go ahead and remove the screw. So we'll do that on all three of these spots. So now we can see the top of the light assembly. It's kind of loose. So then we got to hit the last two little spots, which are like, one is over here. Just for reference, all the bolts are the same size. Right down there, you see that one? right there. We're gonna get that. For that last screw, I was able just to kind of put a long socket right through here, 8 mil, and get down there. So I think this will kind of pop out now. See, I'll be careful with it. Now I have not unplugged my bulb situation here, but I will. So this one is the low beam here. I guess I could just unplug the connector itself. This is the low beam, which is the HB4, and then the high beam right here is actually a 9005. All right, so we got those out now. Now we can kind of figure this whole situation out. Now I've heard you need to be careful with the way the hood prop is kind of running, because you have this cable going right through here, which, you know, could become in the way or something along those lines. So be careful not to kink that sort of thing. Now we do have the little plugs here. Does look like we could probably de-pin these as well. I guess it's unnecessary though. Let me actually see what I have. I may have some random connectors that I could just connect onto these and make my own little like cheater harness instead of just splicing, you know, together and together, which I think will be a little bit easier. So let me go see what I got. In the back of this, you could probably also de-pin this as well. So let me see what we got going on here, because like if I could shove the pins into here, perfect, you know, that would be rad. So I found these little connectors that I have. I'm not going to use them because they're not the right pin type on the inside. I should say they're not the right slot type. This kind of has a different slot. Also, I could only find 2, so we're just gonna straight wire these to the new little adapter here. So what we'll need for that is some solder. I'm gonna use a lighter. You can obviously use a soldering torch, or you can use a blowtorch, or whatever you want, or a soldering iron. Seriously, just using a lighter works just fine. You could do it in a pinch, so that's kind of an easy way. That's gonna make it to where people don't have to buy tools. Also, I would use shrink tubing. However, I couldn't find any shrink tubing, and CV thing is going down right now and everyone's on quarantine. So yeah, I'm not gonna go to the store because F that. I'm not trying to go talk to people right now. This is what we're gonna wire into. This is kind of the hardest part to explain. I'm gonna try to explain it as easy as possible, and I'm just gonna explain this particular harness, okay? This goes into the back of the Bosch light. The top one, the brown, is the ground, so brown is ground. On the bottom right here, the yellow and green is the low beam, all right? On the gray and purple wire right here, that is the parking lamps. So that one is a gray and purple wire. And then the white and green wire is the high beams. So low beams, high beams, parking, and ground. Hopefully that makes sense. And we're just gonna take our appropriate, you know, pieces that we had and basically hook up those appropriate wires to those wires. The driving lights, right? So actually pretty similar. We had a brown and a yellow green. Again, driving lights, brown and yellow green. So pretty straightforward on that. Over here, high beams. We had the brown, which is the ground, and then a white green. Pretty straightforward on that as well. Then we got the driving light, and check this out, guys. This one right here, it is gray and purple. So pretty much just match up the colors here, and we should be pretty well set. Okay, so here's my my wiring, and honestly, I'm kind of embarrassed on this. All I have is freaking orange electrical tape right now. Usually I'd heat shrink this. I'd put a heat shrink tube over it, and then I would heat this up, and then boom, it would look like OE. But like I said, the pandemic is going around, and I'm not trying to go anywhere that I don't need to go to. So anyways, we are just gonna hit it with some ugly ass tape for now. And we could upgrade in the future and we could do black electrical tape. Ooh. But or maybe I'll just splice these in the future when I'm like really bored. Or soon enough I might actually change out like this little metal piece right here. So maybe when I do that, if everything's cool, I'll clean that area up. I kind of stagger spliced it a little bit, and then put a thick amount of electrical tape on everything. That way, you know, we could have a good amount of protection. as far as the elements and anything shorting out. So this is going to be a pretty ugly little tape job right here, but it's going to do the trick for now, so that's good. Like I said, wow, the orange is gross, but maybe it'll do. Right now I do not have the lights screwed down. I just wanted to real quickly wire everything up, make sure everything was working. Oh, I got that one last little solder connection right here as well. So I actually soldered them. Look, I don't even have a soldering iron. I use this bad boy, MAP gas torch. Works fine. You just got to be careful with something like that. You got to be aware that that's a lot of heat, so don't melt your wiring harness. Put a couple wraps around this, and then we will kind of stagger it backwards because, man, it sure is ugly. So let's try this out. Hopefully nothing lights on fire. So those should be on. Oh, cool. And actually, the running lamp is working. So you can see, like, look over here, guys. So see this one in the bottom? See that one in the bottom right there? That's the running lamp. And what you'll see over here, boom, that one is on, which is the normal running lamp, the non-Euro. So that running lamp is good. And then also, my low beam is on, and the low beam is on over there. So let's switch to the high beams. Also, you're noticing that this side marker is not on because that's only going to work for the blinkers now. Blinker, right? Should be good. Yep. And then high beams, maybe? Let's see. High beams are good, and both bulbs are on. So that is awesome. Exactly what I wanted there. Now, I have that like bottom freaking thing going on. I don't know, that bottom little connector. Not quite sure what that's for. I'm just gonna leave that off. Oh, you know what that? I read something about the lights being able to level out, like being able to adjust. I'm not sure if that's what that's for or whatever, but hey, everything for me is working right now. It's so much different, like absolutely horrible, absolute garbage, and yes, that is on, and yes, that little like side light is on, compared to this, you know. It looks awesome. Even that little running light is on in the bottom of the light. So, wow, it's gonna really make a difference in the face of this thing. Let me tidy down those lights with the couple screws that it has. I think it's 4 screws, and put in the side marker real quick. All right, so the light is in. I'm just gonna screw it down. It does have one less screw in the middle here now, so something to be aware of. Then we have the height adjustment thingamajigs right here as well. For now, I'm just gonna sort of snug these down, and we'll put in all of the screws that we. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so side marker now. Like I was saying, I have 2 different options for the side marker. I could go with that one, or I'm gonna stick with this one because I think it looks a little bit better. Let me know what you guys think. If you think I should go to the yellow one, for sure, I'll do that. If you guys think this one's absolute garbage, because I don't know. On the black car, I like it. On maybe a different color, maybe I wouldn't like it so much. I don't know. But on the black one, I kind of dig it. Alright. So now we just slide this in. This should not be forced in. Alright, it should just slide right into its space. Uh-oh. Not liking that noise. They're scaring me. Like I'm saying, this little rubber thing is not the greatest. I might throw some glue on there or something. Kind of clean that up a little bit, but that's it on the front. And that is the OE. Oh, it's nasty. Looks so much better. It's awesome. All right, let's get down to it. Oh, one thing on this side I know for sure, the horn is gonna have to move for the alarm. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be in the way. So that's one little thing I'm gonna have to relocate, and then I'll show you if anything else is different. Okay, little update on the passenger side wiring harness. Again, pretty straightforward. I mean, these are all wire for wire if you really look at the colors. So we got a brown, which is the ground. We have a white blue, which is going to be the high beam. We have a yellow blue, which is going to be the low beam, regular running light. And then this is the, this is the running light right here. So that is a purple yellow. And like you see over here, purple yellow, gonna attach that over here to the purple yellow. And I'm gonna solder these all together again. And honestly, this conversion is very, very straightforward. Now, I went ahead and popped out that little bottom piece like I was talking about. I was like, what the heck is that? That is that that leveler. Absolutely love the look of the lights. They look incredible. I'm really glad I went with the Bosch instead of the depot lights. They're just much more classy and all that. I mean, they just look so much better. And you know, they're OE. And they perform very, very well. So if you guys are wondering like how much better they are than US lights, they are way brighter than US lights. And that's even with standard bulbs. I'll probably upgrade these bulbs to LED in the future and make them even brighter. Also, what's really cool is you can get the adjuster, which kind of goes like right next to your light button. You can get that European feature, which actually aims the headlights up or down. And you could connect those little motors and wire that stuff up if you wanted to in the future. But yeah, man, I'm really stoked on how this looks. Let me know, guys, do you think I should just go with the orange corners, or do you like this look? I think it looks good on black. On a lot of the other colored cars, I don't know so much. So yeah, I'm liking the look of this. Anyways, guys, we will talk to you soon. Later, and wrench on.